twakuhoya wendani na gitio na tha nyingi cia wendo wa ruriri Ngai ari mbere tutingihotwo ni thu mwene nyaga twakuhoya
Kenya yothe iyuirwo ni maithori tukioria wira thiugukari.
Therefore, when the British at home said Kenya will have their own country, British colonial administrators, loyalists, home guards got together. The Mau Mau who are imprisoned in jail, in detention camp, in an emergency village, will be freed. Now that we tortured them, we sent them to jail, where are we going to be? Now, that is where intrigues and betrayal came about, and the British government said, I will do something that you will be the people leading the government.
At midnight, December 12th, 1963, Kenya was declared independent. The formal instruments of independence being handed over by the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, to Kenyatta before a crowd of 40,000 gathered in a colourful ceremony held at Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi.
And they did that without all the people who were fighting for independence.
Andũ arĩa macokire kũnyita maũndũ marĩa manene rĩ nĩ andũ arĩa me mwena ũcio wa thirikari. Na igua rĩu makĩandĩkwo mawĩra magĩthoma.
They went to grab businesses that the Europeans were leaving. Therefore, everything produced by our victory through fighting the British colonial government was received by collaborators.
So you find even when we tried to say that we were Mau Mau, our fathers were trying to say those who were in the government were against because they did not support even from the initial stage. That's why we have kept on struggling to bring this in right.
We still know each other. Yes, because maybe my father went to bush, he was your Kamatimo, so we know you are this way and I'm that way. If one does something which is not appealing to the community, you will hear people repeat that. Sini son of that Kamatimo, the one who used to cut people's heads. They still talk that way.
Most of the British soldiers that settled here left after independence, and the land has changed ownership several times to its current owners. The lush and green hills here in Tigoni area tuck away what was a painful period for the Agikoyo people, as they had their ancestral land wrestled away from them in what was seen as betrayal from their very own. But even now, the disparities between Lari and Tigoni are still very much alive. These unkempt homes packed closely together in Kamirithu sit forlorn and gaunt, a sore reminder of the unrelenting struggle for resources. But in stark contrast, Tigoni could easily be confused for a rural British setting. Large homes spot the vast and neat tea farms springing from the fertile land, and smoothly paved roads slice through the greenery.
Ona tutirikanago tondu no korwo ni migunda tutire migunda yarĩ kuo nĩ yanyihire tondũ okorwo thoguo arĩ na eka 10 agaire atumia 5 na rĩu nĩ eka 2 kwĩ tũnyamũ twoirwo nĩ thirikari twa barabara kĩu tondũ barabara iria ikuo no iria ciarĩ cia mbere ya mũthũngũ cia tĩri.
For those Kikuyus considered to be likely candidates for the Mau Mau, internment camps have been established. Camp chaplains are instructed to effect a change of heart and mind in the internees by substituting a Christian code of behavior for Mau Mau paganism.
Almost every corner in Lari constituency is flanked by a church. The Agekoyo rejected the Christian faith, believed to have been brought by the white settlers, but it would eventually dilute the simmering tension.
Acokire kugaruka bidi ya Lari niĩ ta niĩ rĩ gĩtonya kanitha wa PCA nĩkuo njikarĩte mĩaka ĩyo yothe kuma mbara ya njĩra.
You know, when people get a lot of problems, they remember God.
Ithuĩ tũtigiwa andũ acio mekwo ũru home guard matikae gwĩkwo ũru marekwo maikare no tũtikariganĩrwo ũrĩa mekire.
The Mau Mau was a justified war. Despite the Mzungu calling them terrorists, their war was justified because it was for a just cause. The Mau Mau did not get what they got for, but we got what they fought for. We who are living today. Because we have the freedom, we have the independence, we have the land.
Now as bulldozers move in,
The Mzungu destroyed these places because they knew the people still are not happy. They destroyed them to try and maybe clear the minds of the people, but people still know the places where people were buried massively.
In the neighboring Githunguri town, a nearly century-old law court sits behind the construction works for the Githunguri Level 5 hospital. Mau Mau freedom fighters once walked through its frayed, decaying doors to learn their fate. Its morbid past now perhaps weighs on it, as the pillars exhibit cracks and weeds sprout from its bottom. But the survival of this building was not always guaranteed.
When we got the public participation, they were asked to decide between eating the history or getting the hospital facilities that are coming here. And of course, anonymously, all of them were shouting that they would prefer the hospital. After the intervention, that is when we got the nod to preserve it, but others, it was almost being destroyed for the in exchange of the hospital.
We are asking the Kiambu County government perhaps to put up a monument there where we'll have the names of these people written.
And
I think this is a challenge to our national museums, that whereas they use a lot of money to do modern things, there should be really an effort to preserve some of these sites for our history.
We were young then, so you can imagine those people who really did the best part, most of them are not there.
I am an old man. I cannot run, and I am keeping forgetting things.
Moke twandike history ya bururi ya haria tu ithui tumutigire nigetha mumenye kuria bururi umite na haria ukinyite na uria ukite na kuma twagia wiathi ukite atia nigetha na nyu mumenye mukururia naku ithui twiriwa rirathwa mwarega ku kiria twina kio haha mugutura nduma-ini.
Ngai mwega emutangeri waita Mamokeri magondo na mandwairo Kayore mbere tinge hoto nizo Mwene nyaga twakoya Etuhoyaga Nani na giteo Nava nyinge cia mwendwa wa rurere Oiguano agikuyu na mumbi Mwene nyaga twakoya
Scars of Lari, a painful but certainly insightful history class there by Ngina Kirori and Robert Gichira. A salute to all those who paid with their lives in the fight for independence of our country. We take a short break. We'll be back with the sporting action. Stay with us.